Probably after today, that sign will be history. Happy Thanksgiving. I imagine later on it will say something like, Merry Christmas, though I can't say with any degree of certainty. Probably. What we have here is a nice carpenter Gothic-y kind of structure, but that is not what we are here to talk about today. No, on this edition of Let's Explore This, you are going to find out that not all listings on the National Register of Historic Places are buildings. That is certainly the case with the small park that defines the heart of Tarboro, a small but important town slapped onto North Carolina's coastal plain. Called the town common, it is much more than a park. It has been a part of Tarboro since the 1700s. Let me explain. Listed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1970 and also included in the much larger Tarboro Historic District, the town common, it is a roughly triangular piece of land. It is bounded on the north by Park Avenue, on the east by St. Patrick Street, on the south by Wilson, and the western end of Albemarle Avenue. Those boundaries, however, are a little bit more complicated than that, for you see, the area is further subdivided into four unequal portions by these three north to south streets: Trade Street, Main Street, and St. Andrew Street. Confined within those boundaries, the common is punctuated by a series of relatively flat lawns. These lawns feature a varied collection of mostly deciduous trees, predominantly oaks and elms, some of which are of great age. And of course, if you want a Christmas tree, here is one for you, 'cause we know Christmas isn't all that far away. Good luck decorating it, though. These plants have grown up over the years with no overall planting scheme, but they still manage to, even today, form an exciting series of vistas, with alternating areas of light and shade. Even just as impressive is a structure so located on the common. This here is a 19th century cotton press that was moved to its present location from the Norfleet plantation in Edgecombe County. There are several memorials that abound in the confines of the common. There is this Confederate monument, erected in 1904, featuring the typical high pedestal surmounted with the statue of a rifle-bearing Confederate soldier. However, it does not appear to be standing today. Other monuments, however, do still abound within this space. So, it appears that the Confederate soldier statue was removed from the town common in August of 2020. Why? Well, due to political rivalries that occurred during and after the COVID pandemic, many cities and towns across the nation chose to take down Confederate statues. You know what they say. You can't erase history. You can't change what is in people's hearts. But you can change the environment. Anyway, here in the town common, even time capsules abound, apparently. This one, from November 11th of 2002. Hmm, what was so important about that date? Maybe that's when this was erected? Anything on here showing a year of any sort? Oh yeah, 2002. This memorial is dedicated to all past, present, and future veterans of Edgecombe County and all others who served our nation in war and peace by its grateful citizens, November 11th of 2002. There's only one problem, though. When I stand in the middle of this supposed time capsule, I don't seem to be transported back in time. I guess they haven't invented that technology yet. Okay, So, before we get to our next monument that I'm supposed to discuss briefly, I came across some kind of document. What is it? It's on the ground right here, and I'm kind of curious as to what it is. Sassercraft Kitchen and Bath, Customer Service Agreement. Huh, what did he buy? If I can hold it, it's kind of wet, 'cause it's been dewy this morning. A pork tub, a porcelain tub, maybe. Warranty is 5 years. Color desired, white repair. Huh. What kind of color is white repairs? Interesting. Wow. 350. Oh, repairs is $50. Why is repairs written under color desired? Anyhow, white porcelain tub, I guess, 350, and repairs is $50. Wow. $400 for a piece of furniture. Go figure. Somebody must have lost their warranty paper. Hmm. There is this stone obelisk dedicated to the memory of Colonel Lewis D. Wilson, a mid 18th century local political figure. There is this large stone with a metal marker cast from the battleship Maine, which pays tribute to the Spanish American dead. However, the most interesting monument may very well be this. Well, not this, but what we have here is an unusual cast iron fountain consisting of a central two-tier element surrounded by an octagonal basin with four Corinthian colonnettes that support spherical light globes, which are placed at alternate corners of the octagon. This fountain, though, it is a memorial to Henry Wyatt of the Edgecombe Guards CSA, purported locally to have been the first Confederate soldier killed in the Civil War. The thing is gated, but can we get inside? No, it's locked, so I guess we're not going in there to walk the inside perimeter today. I will say this, though. I think some might consider this one the most elaborate, though not the most historical, given the date of when the National Register document was written. Yeah, a 2002 structure. 2002 had so many years to go. Oh, and there is also this cannon. But you know what? The town common, it goes far beyond the date when those memorials were erected. You see, it goes way beyond even the Civil War. It was originally a part of the 150-acre plantation of Joseph Howell, and this plantation was located on the north bank of the Tar River in Edgecombe County. Remember that Thanksgiving sign earlier? Well, now it's the day after Thanksgiving, and look at it. And get a load of that. You know what that looks like? Yeah, it's telling me that the battery is about to die. And if that happens, I guess there's no more sign. Bummer. Anyway, on September 24th of 1760, Reverend Mr. James Moore, Lawrence Toole, Captain Aquila Suggs, Elisha Battle, and Benjamin Hart purchased that property for £2,000, being part of the plantation laid out for the use of building and erecting a town thereon. And the above Reverend James Moore et al. Are appointed commissioners. All the property was to be laid out in lots, except 50 acres for commons for the use of the said town. That same year, the North Carolina General Assembly passed an act for the establishment of the town, specifically mentioning a part thereof for a common. According to an early map, the commons surrounded Tarboro on three sides: the north, the south, and the west. All but the northern common were eventually whittled away in the face of Tarboro's expansion, leaving its present area that contains only 9 acres. That's right, folks. This is all that remains of what was once apparently a huge tract of land. Even this small plot, though, could not help but suffer encroachments. In 1813, the State General Assembly passed an act for erecting an academy in the town of Tarboro, which authorized the commissioners to sell 2 acres of land belonging to the town commons. In 1838, 1 acre, situated in the grove of the said commons, just north of Wilson Street, was sold to the trustees of the Tarboro Academy for the purposes of a location of an academy. In later years, a public graded school was also erected on the northern common. During the war between the states, it served as a training ground and temporary barracks for the Edgecombe guards. So, folks, tell me, is this school that public graded school? Well, no. According to tax records, this building was built in 1952. The Civil War was in the 1860s, so no. Somewhere around this area, another building stood. Okay, so here I am at the school now, and it appears that the building is still in use. Not only do they have a lot of air conditioners, but a couple of them appear to be on. So, I am assuming the building is still in use. But is it still a school? Well, according to tax records, no. But it appears it might still have something to do with education, though. I don't know. Can we get a peek in the window? Just a little peek to see what might be inside. I mean, the building appears to be well maintained. Inside, it looks like there is a classroom over there. And it appears there is some kind of school paraphernalia inside the building. Yeah, I am assuming the building still has some kind of use in terms of education. Let us take a closer look at the white sign down there to see what it says. But before we do that, let me just say, even the grounds look well manicured. The playground and athletic fields look to be intact and not ridden with much decay. So, yeah, I'm assuming they're well kept and probably get some use. But still, I'm kind of curious. Is this a school today? I mean, it could be used by the Board of Education for educational office work, which means it's not exactly a school, but could be used in the education field. Let's see. What does that white sign say? Hmm. Welcome, Princeville Panthers, Edgecombe County Public Schools. I think that's a sports team. Not exactly what I thought I would be finding on the sign, though. It doesn't say much about the school, but it is on the northern end of the town common. Since the turn of the century, the remaining town common has been utilized as a site for several memorials and a fountain. And today, it still continues as a park for the citizens of the town of Tarboro. And if you happen to live in one of those several historic houses that line the perimeter, you are espoused with the privilege of overlooking the town common. Wow! Look at that Tarboro doggy. That's a pretty big doggy. Anyhow, in the 18th century, there were a number of planned towns in North Carolina. Many of them featured undeveloped spaces designated as markets or courthouse squares. Tarboro, with 3 areas specifically designated as town commons, was most unusual. As such, the remaining common is a unique piece of land that harkens back to early urban planning in the South. And now, that sign is dead. And with that said, it's time we move on.